Welcome to my home. This is my good old Elegance from Cloud9 Vaping. Definitely my favourite. I have had my clips sent over from Europe for the Vigo from Jack Vapor. There is the clip. It's simply a plastic clip that goes over the waistband of the Vigo. If you twist it, it covers the button so it cannot be depressed in your pocket or your bag, and if you twist it again, it exposes the button so that you can then simply vape normally with your Vigo. That's been very useful for me. The only complaint is I think it sort of spoils the look, the elegant look of the Vigo, because it's lost its waist, it's lost its silver band, but it's a mighty useful thing, and that makes it more usable for me. I must say, I still prefer the vape feeling, the feeling of drawing through the cartomizer that fits on the end of the Elegance. However, I must say that all my cartomizers fit the Elegance, whereas the Elegance cartomizers, although they screw on to the Vigo and the light comes on when you inhale or you draw on it, it does not draw in any vapor. I am using my Elegance from Cloud9 Vaping. It's got such an easy draw, it's so pleasant. It's definitely my favorite device at the moment. I'm not sure why it's so good. I had this weird idea that it might be because the cartomizers are fatter and shorter than the longer, thinner cartomizers that I use in my Vigo. But then this cartomizer also fits on the Cloud9 Vaping battery. This also fits on the Cloud9 Vaping battery, and it vapes very well as well. And that's a longer, thinner cart. So I can't tell you why this battery from the Elegance feels better for me than the Vigo. I like the Vigo. My Vigo lasts 12 hours. The battery from my Elegance lasts 8 hours, I think, and for me, perhaps I don't vape so much, I'm not sure, but that's a whole day's vaping for me. So I use the Elegance a lot. And I have now gone out with my Vigo because I can now stop the battery from going off any time that the button is depressed in my handbag or pocket. I've even taken it on dog walks. And of course, it lasts a long time, and you can rely on it for not suddenly fading in the middle of an evening out, or in the middle of the day, or during some event when you really need to have your PV working. The juices I'm vaping are my favourite, lemon meringue pie, and then I have a second cart filled with cream. Did you know cream has a flavour? It's got a delicious flavour. And that cream comes from Cloud9 Vaping. Plain cream. I've also added it to some flavours, fruity flavours, that I'm not so fond of. So now I can vape strawberries and cream. It just rounds off the flavour. So I'm very pleased with cream. On its own it's delicious, and mixed with other flavours it's also delicious. And the other one that is really nice from N-Juice is the Toffee Nut Crunch. That's what it's called. Toffee Nut Crunch is also very nice. So those three are my currently most used flavours, and I would recommend them to anybody if you like round, warm, comforting flavours. Now, I need to talk about how I told you to clean the carts in water. And somebody got hold of me and said, but the water isn't the same all over England. Well, we know it isn't, because down south it has got a lot of limescale in it. It seems to me you have to be aware of any problems there might be with your water. Fortunately, where I live, our water is normal, and so I know there's going to be no deposit left after I've done my cleaning. But if you've got your carts in a little bag and you spin it so that the centrifugal or the centripetal force actually expels the water from it, then you ought to be all right, because no water will be left to set up or create any coating on your carts. So I think if you know what kind of water you have, that's the most important thing. I have to say, there's some fun movies on Google Video from 2008 where they tell you to clean your carts in Coca-Cola and other stuff. So we've gone a long way since then. We've learned how to deal with our equipment for vaping. Now, the last thing is I have my granddaughter staying with me now. She's very little, but it's not so long, and she'll be running all round the place, and she's a very dangerous creature because you have to watch her all the time. If by accident my vaping stuff and my juices got into her hands, it would be a disastrous thing. Each bottle has got a baby-proof top, but even so, I don't like that feeling that my equipment, which might be poisonous and dangerous, would be available for any of my grandchildren. So I've been finding a storage system that is good for all my stuff, and I found the perfect thing, and I'm going to be able to lock my stuff up. So I'm also saying, if you've got grandchildren or children or any person that could be injured by your equipment, please see that it's locked up. That's me for now. Easy, smooth, delicious. Thanks for vaping with me.